It could be a turtle over there. To run out this morning, do a couple errands, that kind of thing. But you know, yesterday was one of those, I don't know, funny days. I run I and another guy are administrators for a Facebook forum group, Burke Community Forum, and you know, it's for basically Burke, Vermont, and the Northeast Kingdom. And you know, I had to put out a piece on that about being civil discourse, you know, respectful, and I thought that was going to do it, but I guess it didn't, as yesterday. First time I sort of had to write up a piece, it was, you know, just to get people on the forum that to understand that, you know, having a different point of view, perfectly fine, no problem at all. But how you voice that concern or whatever can be done in a civil way. You don't have to be insulting, degrading, demoralizing, whatever, because somebody has a different point of view. So I did that back in I think it was June, and you know, for a while things were pretty good. Then, you know, it started getting a little bit more again, so I got to, well, I'll tell you after. I'll give you a little background on the Burke Community Forum. There's about, I think we're at about 4,500 members. And the thing of it is that this area, you know, the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, Burke, is a relatively rural area. It doesn't have any manufacturing. There's a lot of room for growth. But that's where it gets a little bit tricky. And you've got a whole bunch of people who live here and a whole bunch of people who come here. There's a kind of a divide. And, you know, like most forums, you've got a lot of people who have very vocal opinions and some that just watch and all that kind of thing, which perfectly fine. But the idea behind the forum is to provide help, answers, assistance, you know, who's good at this, who's good at that, can I find out about this aspect or that aspect, what should I do, you know, those kind of things. It's to be helpful. And, you know, we've had some posts that have had some incidents that people just start chiming in, or people start writing posts just to get people riled up. Because, you know, we're in this COVID pandemic, and people are like, oh, so what's with all the out-of-state cars, or, you know, something like that. Now, that has nothing to do with it, and that turns into a whole battle issue of this, that, oh, it's going to turn into this, and then there's people who are swearing, and, you know, it's one of those things that it doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit people involved. It doesn't benefit the area in any way. So I had to, I wrote up a new post, and basically it was just saying that, look, you know, everybody, you know, you can have your differences, that's fine, but we have to work together to help the area community grow. And, you know, if that's not something that you're really into or whatever, then please, by all means, leave. If you can't state your opinion or whatever in a way that's helpful to somebody else, then don't state it, because I'm going to remove it. If you can't express yourself without, you know, swearing, cursing, and, you know, I said, I can curse with the best of them, but I don't. Not on a public forum. It's not appropriate. It just belittles what you're trying to do. So, you know, I went on with different little things like that, saying that, you know, we all had to, differences aside, help each other to build the community, build relationships, whether you live in the area, want to live in the area, you're just visiting the area, want to visit the area, have a second home, and there's, you know, there's a group of people, and I don't know what their situation is or really care, that are basically, you know, against any type of growth. Now, they're against businesses growing, they're always against this, against that, against people from other places coming. And, you know, my attitude is that if you're an idiot, you can be an idiot from anywhere. If you're a nice person, you're going to be a nice person from anywhere. And that's just reality. I mean, that was the same in other places I've lived. I mean, when we lived in Eleuthera, I did a forum down there. And you got all kinds. Unfortunately, a lot of the more vocal ones tend to be the idiots. And they're, why, I have no idea. But if an area doesn't grow, and this area needs to grow, especially now, it's a tourist-based economy. We have mountain biking, skiing, lakes. If we don't, you know, enhance that growth in tourism, there's no manufacturing coming here. There's nothing like that going to happen. So if we don't embrace and, you know, figure out how we're going to make it work for everybody, people who are moving here, people who live here, it's not going to work. And nobody's going to live here except the chipmunks. And I mean, I said that, you know, ages back in Eleuthera when I ran the Chamber of Commerce for down there and did the marketing thing for down there to get people to come. If people don't come, then, you know, like us, our coffee business has got a marginal chance of survival. The area itself, how are you going to make a living? So it just seems that there's, you know, now people have a lot more free time. They figure that they can say things on public forums, even though their name's attached to it, that they probably wouldn't say to somebody's face. You know, I just don't get that. If you would say that to somebody's face while they're right in front of you, okay. I doubt it. The comments and everything else. So I just basically said, look, we're either going to be civil, we're going to work together, or you're going to get deleted, your comments will be deleted. Enough is enough, because it'll just drag the whole thing down. I don't know why people have such a hard time with that, why they feel they need to belittle other people, or why we've gotten so defensive, and, you know, this they-us attitude type thing. Everything gets politicized. I'm not a fan of that. It should be us. There's only people. You can have different thoughts. You can have different values, views, as long as, you know, you don't say my way is right and your way is wrong. Because, you know, one of the things I look at with that is that it's still around, but this division of people, isn't that kind of like what the jihadists and ISIS and all those were about? You're either us or you're not. I sure hope we're not getting into that kind of territory, because it's going to be a hard, if ever, road to come back. So that's partly what I've been doing lately, and it's taken up a bit of time thinking, and I'm trying to figure out how to grow the coffee business, because we're not having the tourists come. It's what it is, I guess. Other thing, I'm not sure I told you, but I've always had my fingers in a lot of different things. Like when we lived in Eleuthera, I was the administrator for the Chamber of Commerce. I ran a marketing program for the island to bring more visitors, investors, etc. I did VAT taxes for businesses, VAT. And here, I'm the chair of the Planning Commission. I'm a member of the One Burke, which is a volunteer organization to try to make things better for the town and area by, water, sewer projects, housing, all the things that would help benefit the community in the long run. I do the forum thing, which you already talked about. And all of these are basically volunteer type things. The area is where we live, and it's a great area. It's a great area for kids. It's a great area to live in a lot of respects. The commerce part, it could be. And I've been pushing for widespread internet, because that's one of the things that's really going to help. And there isn't. Not everybody has access to the internet. That's going to be a limiting factor as to how growth happens, I think. But all of these things, if we could all work together, use our heads, brains, instead of complaining and this, that, and the other thing, work together to figure out solutions that are going to work for everybody, I think there's some good promise. But it's not a singular effort, and it's something that everybody has to partake in. If they don't, or they're disgruntled. I mean, I know people who are very much against some of the local businesses that have come in, and I say to them, do they pay their taxes? Yes. Is it terrible of what they're doing? Well, not exactly. Do they have employees? Yeah, they do. Like, they've got, 10 employees. So explain to me why this is a bad thing, because I surely don't get it. It's like really windy today. I may have to take down the, when I get home, the sunshade thing on the back deck, because I thought I saw something about 40 mile an hour plus winds, and I don't know if this is the way outer edge of that hurricane storm that went through the Bahamas, which Eleuthera, from what I've heard from people down there, no real big problems, so that's a good thing. Bahamas, by the way, is they initially closed off the country to Americans because we're doing such a great job of containing COVID. And then they opened it up again. But now if you go, you've got to have documentation or this, that, and the other thing. And you've got to quarantine for 2 weeks. And I'm thinking, well, who wants to take their vacation, spend all that money, and sit inside for 2 weeks? It's going to be tough everywhere. I think they'll be even tougher. And how this goes, I don't know. Our daughter's playing right now with the send the kids to school, don't send the kids to school, and then I don't know if that would mean Sid and I become sort of teachers. Time will tell, right? So we're still in the midst of our lovely pandemic. I don't know what will happen over time. I mean, you try to go on with life the best you can, figure out this and that. I think it's going to be cultural, societal, changing time and history. We're doing, you know, what we can do to make things work with coffee and Sid's cooking food and making a living, hopefully, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But how it's going to turn out, I don't know. You have to just keep plugging along like always and hope for the best. Do what you need to do to, you know, stay safe, wear a mask, try to keep your distance from other people, wash your hands, all those kind of things, and just keep going forward. It's about all you can do. If you start getting all negative, crazy in the head, it's not going to solve anything. Not at all. So, chin up, keep moving. Oh, did I tell you? I'm thinking of getting a mountain bike. I don't know if I'm going to, but I'm thinking of it. I seem to have more energy and not sleeping as well, so I need to find something else for my energy. We'll see. Oh, they're almost extinct right now. Finding one is, well, they still have quite a few of the $10,000, $15,000 ones. We're not getting one of those. We're not sure we even are going to do it all that seriously. So, but you can't find bikes. It's one of those things. Bikes, RVs, fishing gear, UTVs, all the things that you could now do sort of by yourself or with a few other people, those are like non-existent. What is that goat doing over there? Oh, goat's cleaning the telephone pole, I guess. So, chin up, keep moving forward, do all that you can do to keep it going. By the way, if I did get a mountain biking bike, it will probably be for roads like this. It won't be to ride around the trails through the woods. At least I can't foresee it, unless they're really easy trails. It's probably going to be drive around the gravel roads like this, get some exercise, burn off some energy,